Следующий кейс будет на английском языке, поэтому если кто-то хочет перевод, включайте наушники. Ну, я думаю, что аудитория у нас продвинутая и вполне себе англоязычная. А шведы знамениты очень понятным английским языком, знаю по опыту. Обычно мы на диджитал-брендинге, мы дизайн, читаем какие-то свои кейсы каждый год, каждые полгода. Но в этот раз мы пригласили Акселя и Йонаса, потому что кейс очень интересный, он связан с влиянием на политическую, так сказать, агенду, повестку дня при помощи социальных медиа. И для российской ситуации последнего времени, я думаю, это особенно актуально, и особенно послушать и посмотреть, как это бывает в других странах, с которыми мы продолжаем дружить. Аксель, Юнас.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, just start by saying we're very glad to be here. And my name is Axel Bendrik. Been in digital business for about 17 years. I'm running a group of agencies in Sweden and Russia, including Actionist, who has produced this case we are presenting today, and the assign here in Russia as well. Now you hear me better. And this is Jonas.
Yes, and I'm the client here. I'm Jonas Beltram-Linné. I work as a press secretary and also work with the social media on Hyresgästföreningen, which is the Swedish Union of Tenants. It's a quite rare organization. It's a non-profit organization. We have 1 million members. We established almost a year ago, 100 years ago, and we have 800 employees. But the main thing is that we have gotten a government task as an organization to negotiate all the rents in Sweden with the owners of the estates. And so we negotiate the rents for every tenant, even if you're not a member. So it's a very rare organization. I don't think there is one similar in Europe at all. Like there are small ones, but not as big as ours as well. And this case we want to talk about today is called #flerhem, which means more homes. We want to, of course, we are an organization that try to influence the politicians, but we haven't used digital media at all before, or social media at all before. So in front of this election, we wanted to use it to influence the political agenda. And the Swedish housing situation as it is today, there are 33% of young Swedes that lack a home. And when I say lack a home, it means that they don't have a place to stay. They have to, of course, they can stay with their parents, but they want to move out from their houses, from their homes to start their life. But they can't because we don't have enough flats or houses. And this is a problem that's been increasing over the years. And of course, that's affects in many ways, especially like these young people are frustrated that they can't move away from home, start their own life, and start their personal development, because that's what it's all about. And of course, Sweden, we're quite young when we move away from home the first time. But of course, it affects if you push that limit, like you move out when you're about 19, 20. But if you start getting to 23, 24, of course, that changes our whole structure, like the whole society. And if you look at the socioeconomic point of view, people really miss the chance to like accept works if they want to move somewhere because they got offered a job. They can't because there are no flats there, so they have to turn down job offers. And the same thing with like if you're accepted at a university, you have to turn that spot down because you can't find a place to stay in that particular city. And of course, the same thing with love. You can't move to your partner.
Why don't they build more houses?
Yes, that's what I'm coming to here. Like, what took us here? Why is it like this? Like, this issue hasn't been prioritized on the political agenda, and we have very complex regulations how to build houses, what you have to apply for, and blah blah. A lot of very complex regulations, and the process itself is quite slow. We don't build houses as fast as we should. Like, In Stockholm, every day it moves in like 200 people every day, more people in Stockholm, and of course they're on top of each other right now. So for us at the Union Tenants, this was the priority question, to put the lack of housing on the political agenda prior to the Swedish election. We had an election in September. So this is all what the case is about.
Our challenge here was, of course, to reach out with the information about this to the people in Sweden, but even more important here was to use the engagement and to involve people and to use this engagement to put pressure on politicians to change laws and to put this high on the political agenda. And the question that we thought was how to use digital media in order to create this involvement and to put pressure on politicians, of course. And we had no media budget at all. All media were planned. We had the election year this year in Sweden, and the Union of Tenants had already planned all media. So we had to do this without any media investments at all. So what we did, we took many small steps. First, very simple and small step was to launch #flerhem, which means more homes. To give people a voice and to create a platform where people and influential people could speak about this through. We also created and built a social hub where we gathered all the discussions in social media with this hashtag. So we really opened up for the discussions, and regardless of people's political standpoint, we really made it as unpolitical as possible.
Yeah, we are an organization that are not attached to any political party. We're a free organization, and that's why we wanted to show like the whole spectrum of the discussion. It was very important to us to be free, or what to call it.
Exactly. And this is about how it looked like, just this platform. But this was just a platform and the beginning. The key question here was, how did we engage and got influential opinion leaders to start talking about this in their social media, and in that way to make other people write about this, and in that way to put pressure on politicians. And we had our strategy here was very tactical. We absolutely didn't launch any big campaign to do this. Our strategy was to do many small steps, like working with this every day during 1 year until the Swedish elections. We had 4 quite basic tools. We analyzed all activities regarding housing, discussions in social media every day, and we tweeted directly to people that we saw were opinion leaders with a lot of followers and so on, and we started discussions with them. We created content every day in the union's social channels, relevant content, small things, often reacting on things that politicians had said in debates and so on. And we also kept this discussion alive all the time through launching small campaigns, very opportunistic campaigns, responding to things happening in the world or in the political debate and so on. And of course we communicated this #flerhem in all channels all the time, obviously. This is some example of the campaigns that we did. We did small things, everything from launching and publishing fake housing ads and apartment ads to making interactive and social media connected installation in places where there were a lot of politicians and media and so on.
Yeah, and we also made it very easy for people to tweet directly to the leaders of the different parties. And the fourth one here with the green and red things, like we have suggestions how to solve this problem, of course, and we looked at every party and then we presented like what do they think about our solution, and then we present that to the voters more or less, and if they thought this was a highly prioritized issue, of course, for them, then they could look and see like, yeah, this party, has the same ideas that I have.
And what we did when we had enough engagement and enough content coming in on this hashtag, we took a tour in Sweden in the biggest cities, and we projected the live flow on this hashtag on important buildings in Sweden like Royal Castle, the Globe in Stockholm, the Parliament, and etc. And in that way, we really reached the politicians at work, and it was very difficult to miss those messages for them.
Yeah, everything was live, so you can tweet, and a minute later you can see your tweet there, and also like the political persons, they could see it also and respond to it if they want it, and then it was live. Their answer would be live as well.
Mm. And what we also did to sum up all those activities was to invite our housing minister in Sweden for a balloon trip, flying balloon, that we were going to live stream the discussions about housing, and we did that by publishing an invitation saying that if we had 10,000 clicks, we would invite him. And we got those clicks in a couple of days. We invited him, and he said yes, but security police in Sweden said no. So,
because of strong winds for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it didn't happen.
No, but we reached a very important goal. We were up to discussion in the government's Monday meeting that week. So we had really influenced the debate in the government. So that was good.
Yeah. What about the results? Take next. We saw that the engagement was real high, with thousands of tweets and pictures which were widely spread on social media. We saw the activity raised a lot.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. And one important thing was that the hashtag was embraced and used by the political leaders as well, like ministers. So we really managed to get the hashtag to become a real hashtag, or what to say?
Buzzword that they used in the daily communication and media and press and so on.
Exactly. Yeah. So it became one of the important hashtags. When you wanted to say anything about the housing issue, you used this hashtag. And since then, the hashtag has been constant. You're still using it, and that's like, it wasn't just a buzz. It's still there, still using it, so it's really established, and that's very important, because then now we can follow that thread, and we own it, what to say, because of course more homes is, we're saying something with that, instead of just saying like the political issue of living, like more homes has a meaning as well. And the main goal was to raise the issue, to have the Swedish housing policy to one of the most discussed subjects prior to the election. And it was up in debates. It was much more buzz about it than it has been the election before, which was our goal to do that. And even when because now the election was in September, so we have a new government, and in his first speech, the integration speech is called, right? He very early in his speech he mentioned the housing issue and said what he thought was about it. And of course, before we wanted him to talk about our issue, but we thought, nah, he won't, because they're so like, you know how the world looks like. So of course, he's going to talk about other things also. But he took this one as one of the most important ones, which is very good, of course. And finally, the hashtag, it reached 2.3 million people. And like 2.3 million people maybe is a big number, but that's 25% of the Swedish population that has seen this hashtag, or the messages we talked about on this hashtag, and everything is organic, like you said, no media budget.
Спасибо.
Спасибо.
Так.
Так.
Да, вот самая первая рука сразу на первом ряду. Не забывайте вставать и представляться.
Михаил Гусманов. Хочу сказать спасибо на русском языке, не буду на английском вопрос задавать. Очень приятно, что ребята занимаются таким важным делом. Я на самом деле вот изучал проблему в Европе. То, что большинство людей молодых за 30 и старше настолько погружены в онлайн, что они не имеют девушек, не имеют отношений, сидят на шее родителей и не могут купить дом, да, то есть переехать от них. Это большая проблема не только в Швеции, там, в Германии, там, в Финляндии, но и в других странах. Она очень серьезная, и я так понял, что вы использовали коммуникацию как раз онлайн, Инстаграм, это социальные сети, как раз те средства, через которые молодежь современная, ну, скажем так, тупеет. Ну, в большинстве случаев, да. То есть онлайн-игры, вовлеченность вот именно в жизнь в онлайне, она лишает реальных человеческих чувств, реальных каких-то отношений и каких-то устремлений в будущее для того, чтобы получать образование, развиваться, там, путешествовать. Все эти вещи подменяются, ну, какими-то искусственными вещами, да, которые, собственно, создают проблему. И хотел как раз задать вопрос. Я так понял, что правительство Швеции этим озабочено очень сильно. И были ли какие-то, помимо, ну, то, что лидеры рассказывали о том, что нужно к чему-то там стремиться и так далее, были ли какие-то мероприятия, направленные на то, чтобы молодежь вытащить из онлайна в офлайн? То есть какие-то мероприятия, которые позволили бы им осознать то, что онлайн это не реальность, это не жизнь настоящая. Вот такой вопрос. Спасибо.
Спасибо. Неожиданный угол.
That's not an easy question. I don't know if I agree with you, first of all, because for me, I think the internet is the real world also. So we have different point of views there, because I think, like how the world looks now, it's a part of our culture, our world now. So I don't know what to answer. Like, yeah, of course. Like, what we're trying to do, if you look to our cases, what we're trying to do is to use the digital medias to change the real world, as you call it. And for me, that's an event, as you say. But I don't really know. Do you have a better answer?
Difficult question.
Ну, я могу немножко добавить по-русски, чтобы всем было лучше, ясно и быстрее. Там проблема была не в том, что у этих ребят не было устремления и не хотели бы заниматься тем, чем бы им хотелось заниматься. Проблема в том, что негде купить или негде снять квартиру, просто недостаточно домов. Просто рынок так регулируется, что их строительные компании не могут, как у нас, наклепать множество домов на каждой точке. Вот, и очень-очень многоэтажных. И так, чтобы все могли, соответственно, туда как-то въехать. И, собственно, проблема, которую адресовали, которую пытались поставить вот в политическую повестку дня, это как сделать так, чтобы изменились законы, чтобы изменились какие-то регуляции, чтобы стали строить просто больше жилья, сдавать больше квадратных метров. И в эти квадратные метры ребята бы уже и въезжали, и съезжали друг с дружкой, и уезжали от родителей. Спасибо. Есть еще вопросы? Вот девушка там.
Спасибо большое за доклад. Очень интересно, на самом деле. У меня такой вопрос. Возможно, я пропустила в самом начале. Что стоит за... Ну, как переводится этот хэштег? Вопрос к переводчику, наверное. То есть это какое-то стандартное слово? Потому что всегда очень хочется и достаточно сложно придумать какой-то очень интересный, оригинальный хэштег, чтобы при этом он был запоминающимся, легким и действительно пошел в массы. У вас это получилось? Вот вопрос, это какое-то простое слово или это сочетание? Я просто знаю английский, это сочетание с mayhem или нет? Если там какие-то вот ассоциации, я не знаю, как-то, что означает это слово?
Спасибо. И насколько оно необычное?
Yes, it's easy to remember. It means more homes, but I think the important thing is not that it was easy to remember. That helped a lot, but the importance was to get the influential people on Twitter, for example, to start using it and to make many people see those people use it and to then create involvement among many people. But yes, it was easy to remember.
Еще вопрос?
Здравствуйте, Дмитрий, British American Tobacco. Про хэштег вопрос. А каким образом вы привлекали людей к этому хэштегу? Вы очень много рассказали про хаб, в котором собирался весь контент. Но как люди узнавали о хэштеге? Спасибо.
It was very much about making the influential people in Sweden using this hashtag. So many people with a lot of followers, for example, on Twitter, they use this hashtag, and we contact them and tweeted directly to them when we saw that they were interested in the housing issues. And then many people saw those people using it, and in that way it spread, more or less.
And they used it for free?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like,
we pinpointed people
Yeah.
who were interested in the housing situation in Sweden from the beginning. So that was the trick, not to pay for it.
Thank you.
And of course, we use it in all our communication also, and we have quite a lot of followers. So of course, when we embrace it, like people like, they catch it and they embrace it also. So of course, it was very important that we use it everywhere in all the channels. Like we were very consistent, and like our people that are our spokespersons, even like the official Twitters, of course, but also the official spokesperson of our organization, that they use it, of course. So that's important too.
Давайте еще один вопрос. Да, вот, ну, полтора. Потому что у нас времени уже остается мало, у нас 5 кейсов в этой секции, а не 4, как обычно, и нам надо ускоряться.
Здравствуйте, Филатова Оксана, Ламода. Какие были конкретные результаты в цифрах? Сколько домов уже будет построено в ближайшее время?
Их только правительство переизбрали.
Но, может быть, есть какие-то результаты, которые можно выразить конкретно?
Yeah, the Prime Minister in his speech promised to build 250,000 new flats until 2020, I think, or something. So, like, he made this promise, but of course, they haven't started building yet. But he made it very clear that this is what we want to do. We want to start building this many new flats and rental flats. For most of them is rental flats, because that's very important also, because in Sweden, like, a third of the population lives in a rental flat. You rent your flat, and that's very common in Sweden. And many people do want to rent a flat because they don't want to own, they maybe don't have the money or the possibility to buy an apartment easy, because of course, especially in Stockholm, the prices are crazy to buy, and also the second-hand market is also crazy. So
the minister has made a promise.
He has made a promise.
That's the achievement.
Yes.
And that's real thing in Sweden, to make a promise.
Yeah, it is, because when you say something in Sweden, you will get a hard time if you don't do it. So of course, like, we're not there yet, and there's discussions, but a promise is a promise in Sweden. Otherwise,
thank you.
It would be hard.
And the really last one, and make it short.
Hi, my name is Sergey, and it's not actually a question, it's a sort of a clarification of some detail. Did I get it right that the core mission of your organization is negotiating rental prices on behalf of tenants?
Yes,
Don't you think that you actually killed the market of building new houses?
No, I don't think so, because
you're one of the regulator.
No, we're not one of the, we're the union for the tenants, and we represent the tenants, because that's the thing. If you are one person alone against the real estaters, you will get very high rents, of course. But as a union, we can discuss and we negotiate. It's not like a demand or so. No,
you want lower rents.
No,
imagine
we don't want lower rents.
You are the real estate developer in
Guys,
one.
That's a non-political.
Discuss it after this section, because that's a very interesting thing. Because you cannot imagine a thing like this union in Russia or whatever else. So это как профсоюз, который отвечает за твои интересы, да. Но я предлагаю это обсудить отдельно. Такая особенность их рынка.